Hi, Julie Rader here with the solar eclipse video happening on the 30th of April at 10 degrees, 1:28 p.m. So a solar eclipse is a new moon eclipse. So the new moon happens every month when the sun and moon come together at the same degrees. And this happens to be in Taurus. This is a partial eclipse. Eclipses happen a couple times a year. Well, they come in pairs and they happen either in pairs, sometimes in threes, but they happen about twice a year. So this one, and so what makes an eclipse just from the astrological standpoint is when the new moon or the full moon happen near one of the nodes. And this happens to be near the north node in Taurus. So eclipses are basically a reset to our system. It is, Susan Miller described this years ago, and I love this explanation. It's as if you're walking across a rickety old bridge over a very deep valley, and you're a little nervous because it appears like it could break at any moment. And when you finally make it to stable ground on the other side, you have this sigh of relief. But then you look back and the bridge breaks behind you. And you have this realization, like, just full of gratitude that you made it and you're not on the bridge when it broke. But you also have the realization that you can never go back to where you came from the other side of that bridge. So that's what eclipses bring. Eclipses, depending how it's interacting with other planets in your natal chart, or even your progressed chart or your transiting chart, it can bring about big changes, a big move, a change in career, marriage, divorce, birth, death, those type things. These big life changes often happen around eclipses. So this one, I actually love this eclipse because not only is the eclipse itself making a harmonious aspect with Mars in Pisces. Remember, Mars doesn't love being in Pisces because Mars wants to push forward and run, but then it's in the water. So it's being asked to swim. So with Mars, though, working with the sun and moon in Taurus, Taurus likes to slow things down. And the water is going to slow Mars down. It's going to water down some of that fiery energy that it has anyway. So it's this, how can we work together? How can we slow down, come up with a strategic plan to then move forward, more like the tortoise than the hare? Tortoise and Taurus, very similar energy, slow, methodical. And really they stick with it, they stay with it. So making this aspect with Mars, it's like, okay, what do we want and how can we put a strategic plan in place and have patience as we move forward with it? Then on the same day, we have Venus conjunct Jupiter in Pisces. So remember, Venus is exalted in Pisces. Venus is living her best life of love and self-worth. And Jupiter, the great benefic, making everything bigger, is in Pisces. So Venus is the lesser benefic in ancient astrology, and Jupiter is the greater benefic. Both of these are very positive energies, positive planets. And then we also have, so Venus had just joined Neptune a few days ago. So Neptune is still in this configuration as well. So we have this Neptune, Jupiter, Pisces combination, which is really like, wow, how can we make our dream a reality? And we must stay in a high vibration for that to become true. Venus, very active at this eclipse, also making a beautiful harmonious sextile to Pluto, which has just gone retrograde the day prior. So Pluto, very powerful Pluto in Capricorn, making this beautiful aspect to Venus. We have so much water and earth energy at this eclipse. So it's really the water and all this Piscean energy is allowing us, no matter what is actually happening, what's actually going on, it allows us to go with the flow and to, if things come out of left field, we are able to adapt with all this Piscean energy. And then all this earth energy is allowing us to have firm footing and come up with a clear strategic plan to move forward or to change and redirect. So that's the overall energy of this eclipse. And let's go through and see where it's affecting you in your sign. So I really highly recommend you listen to all three, your sun, moon, and rising. If you don't know your rising sign and you don't have your time of birth, then just definitely listen for your sun sign. And you know what that is because that's determined by the day of your birth. If you know your birth time or you know where your birth certificate is, then plug it into a free website such as astro.com and find out your rising, that's your AC, your ascendant, as well as your moon, and listen to all three for a bigger picture view on how this eclipse could be affecting you. The moon sign is a little bit more of an internal. The sun and the rising is how you may see it play out in your life and what areas of life. So for Aries, this is occurring in your second house, the house of finances and self-worth. So really, think of an eclipse as a reset. You are being asked to reset. Great time for you to look at your budget, look at your diet, look at what you're putting into your body, look at what you're charging for your services, if that's applicable. And so this eclipse energy, reset to your finances. So spend some time looking at that. Your finances, remember your self-worth is equivalent to your net worth. Taurus, this is your eclipse. It's happening in your first house. So this is big for you. You're going to be looking at all areas of life. And then remember, we also have this Venus conjunct Jupiter and Neptune. You tend to be one, Taurus, that sees things in a very practical way. I mean, maybe with Uranus there, you've been acting a little bit more out of the box. However, you're being asked to dream a bit bigger and really look at things from a new vantage point, because Taurus, this is a huge eclipse for you. There could be big changes in a very positive way in your life. Gemini, for you, it's happening in your 12th house. I highly recommend you write down your dreams and you pay attention to your daydreams as well. You may feel like isolating a bit during this eclipse, and I recommend that, actually. That would be really good for you to go inward and get clear on what you want and come up with a strategic plan to put it in motion. Cancer, this is happening for you in your 11th house. It is a reset to the groups of people you spend time with, your friendships, and even looking at your aspirations, your goals, your intentions, because that is also 11th house. It's a great house. 11th house is a very auspicious house. So really dream big, and then see and ask yourself, how can you make this happen? Take one step every day toward your goals. Leo, this is happening for you in your 10th house. This is your career house. There could be a reset in your career, a new opportunity, or perhaps an old opportunity that has come back. So dream bigger and make it happen. Put a business plan in place, but one that is not playing small. Virgo, this is happening for you in your 9th house. This could involve some international travel or international business pursuits. Maybe you're looking at your spiritual or your religious beliefs as well. Maybe you have an opportunity to study something new, and I encourage you to follow that. Libra, this is happening for you in your 8th house. This is the house of other people's money. There could be a reset in that. Maybe some secrets being revealed, that either your secrets or someone else's, that you're being asked to take a look at, and it could be beneficial for you because of this Venus conjunct Jupiter, Neptune as well, as long as you stay in a high vibration and you stay authentic and in integrity. Scorpio, this is happening for you in your 7th house. It's all about relationships, a reset to your relationships. Maybe you meet somebody new. Maybe you revive a current relationship that you're in, but it is all about romantic and business partnerships. Sagittarius, this is happening for you in your 6th house. It could involve work, your day-to-day routines, a reset to your routine. Maybe there's a huge change that's occurring in somewhere of your life, which is changing your routine completely. It might not be happening right at this eclipse, but it is setting the stage for it to happen. Something is in the works for there to be a big change in your day-to-day routines, your work, something of that nature. Capricorn, it's happening for you in your 5th house. Also, with this Venus conjunct Jupiter and Neptune, 5th house, it could involve for you romance, or maybe you're getting pregnant, or there's an addition to your family, something to do with children. So Capricorn, maybe also you're being asked to be more creative or entrepreneurial as well. And there could be a reset for you in these areas. Aquarius, this is happening for you in your 4th house, the house of home and family. Aquarius, there could be a huge reset. Maybe you're buying a new home. Maybe you're selling. Maybe you're moving. Maybe a renovation. Maybe it's healing a relationship with a family member. That very well could be the case as well. And Pisces, last but certainly not least. Wow, so much Piscean energy going on right now. This particular eclipse is happening for you in your 3rd house. Could bring about a change in neighborhoods or something going on with a neighbor, sibling, short distance travel, or a communication project. Maybe you are, with all this Jupiter, Neptune, Pisces in your sign, maybe you're in the spotlight and you are being asked to join somebody for an interview, a TV interview, or a podcast, or maybe you're in the spotlight for a book, or maybe it's time for you to launch a blog or something of that nature, or launch your YouTube channel. Pisces, there is so much Piscean energy right now. It is important that you think outside the box, that you, in a very clear way, dream a bigger dream and start putting a strategic plan in place, because big things can happen for you, Pisces. I'm really excited about this, this eclipse and this configuration for you fellow Pisceans. So, okay, that is the eclipse video. Use it wisely. Stay in a positive state of mind, no matter what's going on. Rather than looking, if the circumstances are daunting, stay in the vision of what you want and live as though it's happening right now. I'll see you in the next video.